Who runs the televisions in prison?
Sports. That's all we watching. Sports, sports, sports.
What do you get to watch in prison?
Basketball.
Is it divided up?
Football.
Do you get to choose what you get to watch?
Sports.
Is that the only thing they watch?
Sports.
Yeah, man, we get it.
Sports. Sports. Sports.
So, TV rooms and televisions in prison. Who runs them? Let's get into it. So, in federal prison where I was, there were TV rooms, and then there were also televisions outside depending on the unit. Okay, so when there was a television room, that TV room worked kind of racially most of the time. I remember there being a Mexican room in in a unit that I was in, and then I remember there definitely being a white boy room because there's you're a minority. White boys are a minority. Mexicans were a minority. I don't know how it is now. White boys are definitely a minority. Mexicans are a minority. The Indians were a minority. So there has to be something so that those guys can get a chance to watch something because, it would be overpowered by everyone else. And I've seen it before. You'll see the same thing being watched on 4 different TVs. And then the guys that don't want to watch what those guys are watching, they're left watching nothing, bro. Like, y'all could watch that on 1 TV or 2 TVs and let these other 2 go. But a lot of times people won't even step up and say something to those guys. You know what I mean? You got to be able to step up and say, hey, yo, can you slide over here? And respectfully, it's not, you can't be, hey, yo, motherfucker. It's got to be, hey, yo, man, can we watch this TV since the same thing is on that TV right there? And 9 times out of 10, man, people are going to move for you and take care of that. So what was crazy is when I started thinking about this video idea, I found these the other day, dude, and I couldn't believe that I found them, okay? I've had these for... holy shit, 16 years now, and I haven't even seen them in probably 10. But these are the headphones that I had in prison, bro. And these were the shit. I'm trying to tell you, if you had some of these, boy, what? You knew you could sell them at any time for $100. Like, there was a $100 bill all day long. Well, $100 in stamps, $100 in commissary, not a $100 bill. But look, they slid and they folded and opened. And dude, these were the best ever. They're still all hard from being on my head and working out. Look, I didn't even have a beard then. But yeah, dude, these were the best. I don't know how I ended up with them. I think I brought them home so that I had them in the halfway house. And then somehow they ended up here at the house. And the best thing about these is they came apart like this. So the speakers came off. And you could take those right there and put them in a tube or something, or you could get a couple paper cups or a couple styrofoam cups and cut the bottoms of them out and put those in there, and then you could play that drum. It was a little bit loud. You could actually hear it in the unit when no one was making noise on lockdown. So one of the things that they did come up with in order to help with the noise that the TVs caused and not being able to hear what you were doing or everything just getting louder is they put them on an FM modulator, which means everyone had a radio. Typically, everyone had a radio that tuned into radio stations around the area. And then they also had a Sirius XM or whatever the hell that thing is that would give us certain radio stations. So then you had a chart that would show these radio stations like rock, hard rock, R&B, metal, blues, jazz, your basic satellite radio. But the TVs would also come through your radio tuned into one of the stations that wasn't one of those or wasn't a radio station, just depending. So you could tune it in. This TV be 107.9, this one be 88.1, something like that. And you could always listen because your headphones was on that way. That helped a lot. And when I came home from the federal prisons into the halfway house, which was our local jail and the work release there, they had just built the building. And they had 2 TVs. And just like all the rest of the jail, the TVs were so loud, bro. Like these guys had to turn them up so loud. And you're in this concrete freaking tomb. You know what I mean? So it's just bounces off of everything. And you couldn't sleep or you'd be yelling over top of it to hear what was going on while someone else was sleeping in this dorm area. And I told him, man, I was like, yo, y'all have got to get FM modulators for these TVs. It's like it's a very simple thing to do. Within like 2 weeks, they had FM modulators in there. They tested them. Now they're in the whole jail. So that was one idea that I brought home, man, that probably helped a lot of dudes to get some rest and shit like that, man. I always liked fixing things when I was inside. Like when I did go in the last time, I remember there was basketball nets and things like that, that all this shit needed fixing. Bro, I'm sitting down writing requests. Basketball net needs fixed. This needs fixed. That's messed up. These lights, we can't breathe. Whatever, dude. I'm causing those people trouble, bro. If you ain't making sure that everything we're supposed to have is here, I'm telling everybody on you because, hey, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, I thought that was kind of something that would be funny to get into. The TV rooms were definitely run by race. We had a white boy TV room when I was in the federal penitentiary. That was, you had volume to it, and then, you had to sit in that room to listen. But that worked out well, dude. I remember that, like, if a new guy would come into the unit, and like he was a black guy or a Mexican guy or whatever, and they would wander into that TV room because it was right downstairs, and it was right by where the guards would call chow and shit like that. So it was easy to walk into. But one of the other guys that was, helping out, whatever, politically, I guess, to make sure there was no problems, would go in and tell him and be like, hey, yo, this is, and we would see him go in and be like, yo, that's awesome, because if you go in as a white guy to this black guy, you don't know where he came from, bro. This dude could have life in 6 murders. And you're going to go in there and be like, hey, bro, this is a white boy TV room. Get out. No, you know what I mean? Of course, you would be respectful and be like, hey, bro, just want to let you know this is the white boy TV room, whatever. But if they kept you out of it, you know what I mean, and those dudes did it themselves, then, hey, man, that just made it so much easier on everybody. And that's kind of how things ran there. I did have a guy, if you was asked to join a gang, and then maybe you refused or something like that, man. Dude, there was a lot of politics around shit like that, man, that I just really did not want to be involved in. I stayed away from it as best I could. I didn't want to be into that stuff any more than I absolutely had to be, dude. Like, there were certain things I felt like I was obligated and loyal to do to these guys at that time because I was a young kid, impressionable, immature kid, bro. That was just, straight up. I was a leader amongst the lower guys, yeah, man. But when it got to the up top, bro, I was just a dumb punk. Seriously, you know what I mean? And I don't mean punk in the sense of a prison punk. I was just a dumb kid. I didn't understand how all that shit worked or how far it could get you in. But I realized real quick, this whole playlist is based around things that were bad decisions, and some of those were made inside of that prison. The one where I talk about possibly getting an extra 20 years, bro, that was one of the scariest wake-up calls of my life. And the ones where they had the rubber bullets shooting them at us, bro, both of those incidents happened at the same prison and scared me to death to the point that I was like, I'm stepping back. You know what I mean? I didn't want no parts of it from the beginning. I don't even know how y'all got me included this far, but I fucked up when I said I was going to do this or that. And then I was like, and they respected it though, man. They respected it. So I would say that even if you didn't want to join something like that, dude, for me, where I was, they respected you for not wanting to do it. Now, would they still push ideas at you and always spout the same things? Yeah, man. Some of those dudes did on a constant basis. And when you're around anything all the time, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard not to, become a part of it or think that something they're saying is a wrong being done to someone and you feel like you're justified by helping or doing something else, man. I don't really know, bro. But yeah, I didn't have to refuse to go with the gang. I just kind of let them know, bro, I'm not down with all that. I've heard so many different stories about how people were jumped into gangs and things like that. And then I've also heard of those same gangs that used to jump you in. Now they love you in or something like that. They call it. I don't know the lingo, bro, because again, that's not my lifestyle. anymore. Never really was the gang thing, anyways. But yeah, man. So I just wanted to drop that on y'all, dude. I thought it was funny to think about the TVs. My girl reminded me to tell that story because she was interested in hearing about that, and I have a few other points that she made. I'm gonna make videos about too. So yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging around, man. If you're still here, hit that like button, man. If you're not subscribed, man, subscribe for me. Let's get them. Let's get these sub numbers up, man. I'm gonna do a giveaway at 1,000 subs. I'm gonna do a giveaway at 500 subs if I haven't done it already. I appreciate y'all hanging out.